I'd like to welcome y'all back out to the HizandHerz podcast, Ep.4. I'm your host, DJ D Nice, and this is my lovely co-host, Miss Tay.
Hey everybody.
And like I said, people, we're here to bring you politics, family values, economics, and relationship values. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're anywhere in the world, your house, your garage, the library, the kids' school, waiting on them to get out, come kick with us for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And we still appreciate all the love and all the support for the people. We love you. And we got a fun show for y'all tonight, people. And a very important show. So, like I said, this is the HizandHerz podcast, Ep.4. Keep your feet up, relax, and hang with us for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, my queen, we is back at it again. Mm-hmm. How you feeling? How you living? How your week been going? How everything been going? And how you feeling, my queen?
Pretty good. It's
Let
been
me
a
see that
long
smile on your
week.
face. That smile on your face. Y'all know how it go. That smile on your face. That's what we need to see. My baby been feeling a little bit down, but it's all right. We're gonna get her the smile tonight, y'all.
I'm good.
You good. She good. Everybody good out there. How y'all feeling, people? Love is love. Love is good. Now, once again, people, y'all are in tune into the HizandHerz podcast, Ep.4. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at HizandHerz Barnett, on Instagram at HizandHerz Podcast, and on YouTube at HizandHerz Podcast. Also, we are streaming on Spotify as well, so don't forget to check out the first 2 episodes, and of course, this episode, which we'll be getting to shortly. And without further ado, what we got first?
All right, so in Montoursville, Pennsylvania, Robert and Tiffany Williams of Montoursville, Pennsylvania, did not call the police, say, when a non-hypothetical $120,000 intended for a business was accidentally transferred into their BB&T bank account because of a teller error. The couple splurged on a camper, a Chevy, and a race car. State Trooper Aaron Brown told the Williamsport Sun-Gazette authorities say that they also distributed $15,000 to friends who needed money. All told, they spent $100,000 in about 2.5 weeks, WNEP reported. Eventually, though, the bank contacted them on or around June 20th after spending the money to correct the amount. The bank notified Tiffany Williams, 35, that they were responsible for returning the funds. Brown told the Sun-Gazette he added that the withdrawal resulted in a $107,416 overdraft because the couple's bank account had only $1,121 in it before the accidental windfall. The couple now faces 3 felony charges of theft and receiving stolen property. Court records show they appeared in court last week and posted bail of $25,000 each. That's ridiculous.
So, I think that's funny to me. Now, if $100,000 showed up in my bank account, I'm going to do the same thing they did. But first of all, I'm going to say this. I think that you shouldn't get in trouble for that. That's the bank error. Exactly. 9 times out of 10, they probably laundering money, then put it in the wrong account. I know y'all seen Ghost out there, people. With Patrick Swayze, all my younger people out there, go look that up, Ghost. With the Me More. Oh, yeah. Hey, look, they went and got a camper. They're going to say, hey, if they come take this money from us, at least we got. I hope they did the smart thing and paid cash for it. She did withdraw. Yeah, about 2.5 weeks she withdraw about $100,000 or whatever. They brought a Chevy and a race car. Boy. And then they only had a couple thousand in their bank account, but they made sure all the money that they spent, that they bond was more than what they got out of and what they had left or whatever. But hey, look, anybody out here that wake up to 100 racks in your bank account, the first thing you gonna do is go to the bank. You ain't calling and talking about. I think they made a mistake here because, 9 times out of 10, if a person do that and they call the bank, well, no, sir, if it's showing in your account, then it's yours. Because, the normal customer service person you talk to,
they're not going to know.
Authority. Yeah.
They're not going to know. They're just going to be like, well, it looks like there was a deposit made on such and such date, so it cleared. Clearly it's yours.
Exactly.
And then all you can say is, okay, you got to go about your business. Because if I had $100,000 in my account, it's a wrap. I'm gone. I'll probably be in a different country enjoying life. Pretty much. It's what I'll be doing. With the kids.
Not me.
Yeah, you would.
I'm cuffing 80,000 and act like that I only got 20,000. That other 80 hidden, so it's in the ground, it's in the woods. I ain't letting nobody. I'm still cheap, man. You still ain't gonna know what I got. You can say, man, I seen you with a new car. How you afford that? Oh man, that's just the rental, man. That's just the rental.
I'm shopping. Getting my nails done, getting my hair done, doing the extra stuff that I do to myself now, but it's just going to be higher level.
Getting pampered, spending money.
That's it, like I do now. Nothing.
No, but you see, those are the normal reactions of people, but, we should be on thinking like this. But, if people did come across that amount of money, what I would tell them now at my advanced minimal age, I would say, learn the stock market yourself, invest in something yourself, learn how to make your money grow, because when that money go, because you ain't gonna be able to hold it in around everybody. You're gonna have to tell somebody.
But that it was an accidental. That this money is not technically yours. Because you're going to have some type of thought in your mind. So trying to go ahead and save and trying to invest in something, you can't do that knowing that this is going to come back. So you're going to go ahead and spend what you can, like Tiffany and Robert did, and go about their life. Go ahead and spend it, get it over with, get that splurge moment out, enjoy it. And hey, suffer consequences afterwards. But you enjoyed your time.
This was the smart thing by her withdrawing and taking the money out. Now when they go to civil court, they go to court or whatever. You just find or judge to pay back that money. Now, however long it takes, But you done already spent the money. They might ask for the stuff back, but by that time. I don't know how you can get the camper, the Chevy, and the race car back, but I don't know. The judge, they might try to, like bankruptcy court, they might tell them to give everything that y'all owe.
I'm filing bankruptcy. The next day, I'm going to go find me a good lawyer, and I'm filing bankruptcy and let them know, hey, look, I'm facing this $107,416. Now, how would they, so my thing is, if they were... $120,000 was accidentally deposited into their account, but the account is now only overdrawn $107,416. So they only have $1,121 in their account. Why are they only overdrawn $107,416? That's what I don't understand.
Because it was being laundered, and they want some of their money back. You know how it is. If we follow up on the story, they might. I don't know, somebody pissed off right now. Somebody is pissed. But that kind of amount of money, you don't make no mistake like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look.
So that means...
They spent 100 racks in 2.5 weeks. But if they were smart, I'm booking stuff 2 years in advance. I'm going to pay for stuff. I'm getting money. I'm getting cards. Now, I ain't advocating scamming people. That's not technically scamming because it woke up in your account. Because, you have numbers and numbers. Have you ever looked at a routing number in a bank account or a card number? None of the numbers are the same. Even if you knew somebody with the same bank that you bank with, none of the numbers are not even close.
The routing numbers are the same. It's just the account numbers are different.
You talking about if we didn't know each other and we had different checking accounts.
Right, but we bank at the same bank. You're going to have the same routing number.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But
your account number is different.
Nowhere in the back end. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So.
It just doesn't make sense how that was accidentally put into that person's account and it's supposed to go towards a business. It just doesn't make sense.
And how did they post? No, I had that wrong. They didn't set the bail higher than they can afford. They posted bail for $50,000, $25,000 each.
And they didn't have money, so where did that come from? Probably friends or family. I don't know.
They probably pulled it to the side and say, hey, that $120,000, whatever you keep that now. And next week, we got $300,000 coming to your account. When it comes, let us know. You can't keep that. You already spent it the first time. Now they own to us. You know, hey, look, it be working like that. You never know. Because when I was younger, this time for a little, I call it DV story time.
Oh, right.
When I was younger, girls used to come around like fairly older women and had a scam going for banks and stuff like that. And, you know, they had it down to a T. We used to get money, et cetera, et cetera. But in the long run, all this stuff, it'll catch back up to you. So, you know what I'm saying? For Robert and Tiffany Williams, I feel you. But at the end of the day, boy, you know what come with that. But they was aware of the consequences, what came with that when they, hey. And then, I know that at first, she probably said, go ahead and take out the max. And when that max worked, they kept going into the bank because you got to keep going to the bank. You can't take out $10,000 out of the ATM.
I mean, they spent $100 and the bank. It took them 2.5 weeks to figure that error out though, because they spent $100,000 in about 2.5 weeks.
Hey,
so it took them that long.
I'm talking about.
I would have been shopping somewhere.
We at Red Lobster. We everywhere. I ain't even finishing
lives.
the food. I ain't finishing none of the food. Y'all.
Red Lobster is not all that. Only thing I like from there is saying, those.
Okay, Ruth Chris.
I mean, it's alright. I'm not a big steak person.
But all right. Hey, good luck to you, the Williams family and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania pretty big though.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on. Felicity Huffman. Actress Felicity Huffman was arrested after 7 federal agents came to her Hollywood Hills home with their guns drawn on Tuesday morning, which is March 12th. I'm giving you guys some context here leading up until Friday the 13th, September. This comes after Huffman was indicted for conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. She is accused of giving a $15,000 charitable contribution for her oldest daughter to get special treatment for her SAT exam, which allowed Huffman's daughter twice the amount of time to finish the test and for the paid proctor to correct the exam's wrong answers. Actress, now fast forward, this is September 13th, this Friday. Actress Felicity Huffman was sentenced to 14 days in prison for paying $15,000 to alter her daughter's SAT test, which was included in the Varsity Blues college admission scandal. Huffman was also fined $30,000, and she will turn herself in to begin her 2 weeks behind bars on October 25th.
Only 2 weeks. I just don't feel like that's right. It should be way more than that.
That's your girl, ain't it? From Desperate
Housewives.
Housewives.
That was my show. That was like my ultimate favorite show. I loved it. But I don't feel that as far as like with her overall, the overall scandal that was going on, it should have been more than that. Because if this was anybody else and did the same type of thing, they'll be in jail and not jail, but in prison for a way longer time. 2 weeks behind bars. I mean, come on, let's get real. She should have received way more than that. And her daughter didn't even want to go to school. That's the sad part.
They might as well shouldn't even gave her those 14 days.
Yeah. I mean,
for what?
That's just a waste of taxpayers' money, because pretty much we're still paying for her time in prison. And, I mean, she already done did what she did. She should pay more than, if that's going to be the case, take that 2 weeks and times that by that $30,000 and make her pay $60,000+ back. It just doesn't make sense to me.
You know what? Those 2 weeks, every day she probably get to go in and go home.
Yeah.
Go
probably.
in, go home, or it's somewhere off. Because it didn't say where she was going to do her time at. It could be somewhere out because this in federal, so she'll be going to the federal prison. So she ain't going to prison where the rape is, the murderers. She going where the white collar crimes is committed at. That's
pretty
what she
much.
wants. And now just imagine your child. They bust they behind 12 years to get into this college. They got the best scores in the country. Hey, they submit the application, or they already been watching. Hey, won't you come?
And they're denied.
And get a tour of the college. You know, you're the top scholar, you're the top candidate recruit, blah, blah, blah. And then you get the letter, then they let you down. You're like, well, what was the problem? Oh, at this time, we don't think you meet our criteria.
Or we already met the allotted amount of people for this term. You can reapply for next time and next semester, blah, blah, blah. It's just a lot of trying to think of a better word to say it. It's just a lot that's not right with this story, and that's not actually being told. And more than likely it'll come out. It's just I feel that there's a lot of children that are in high school and that they're working their tails off to pass the SATs in the allotted time that they are given, and when their answers are wrong, is wrong, and they pretty much, she beat the system by this proctor should also be fined as well and placed in jail from doing it by correcting the wrong answers that was on the exam. That shouldn't be allowed. Well, of course we know it's not allowed, but he should or she should also be served time as well, because that's wrong what they did.
Yep, and you know her daughter probably didn't know that. That's half of them.
Well,
they in
she
the
didn't
house.
know it. She said she didn't know.
They're incompetent. They spoiled brats.
The girl said, her daughter said she didn't know.
Mom come in and say, "Get your behind up. You for to go to school and I'm for to pay for it." Huh? You sitting around here doing that? Yes. How good is it going to look with Yale on your resumes in Harvard? You can make so many connections. And then the person that deserve it, knowing they scored out of the roof, they could get accepted to any college, but don't got the money like that to pay up front.
I think it's
and they bumping your child. But Vice, let's flip the switch a minute, people. Let's reverse it. Say if Miss Huffman was a black lady. Say if she was a black lady. You think she would have got 14 days?
Nah, she would have got some months.
And they don't even say nothing about her. She was fined $30,000. She was fined $30,000, but she probably go somewhere and show up and use that as a tax write-off.
Yeah.
And she good. She show up at an event, at a charitable event. It's a tax write-off. She good. Boy, hey, look. You know what I'm saying? I ain't racist because I can't be racist. Because black people can't be racist. We don't control the school system, the economic. We don't control nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't prejudiced. But that's white privilege at its finest. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
Hey, I don't knock against it. Hey, do you, but at the same time, let me come in with my little 15, 20,000. That's why they ain't silent. That's why they started legalizing marijuana, people. They say, wait a minute. Tyrone and Johnny down the street, they done made about 60, 70,000 this year. But, you know, they ain't invested no money. They ain't did nothing. We see how much money they making. We're going to go do that. We're going to put our hands in that. We're going to make some money. Now, you think if I was to show up, it was a black lady, she show up with $20,000, $50,000, hey, you know, they going to call the police before she get off the campus. They call the police on her. She's gone. And she's going to get the same charge. She's going to get the same thing for even trying to do it.
As she should.
But she didn't get anything. So, I don't know. That's a tricky and slippery slope. So, but hey, let's not forget the other lady. She involved in it too. The one from Full House. Everywhere I go.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot her name.
I forgot her name. But
she got hemmed up with the two.
The twins' mom. But yeah.
They don't even talk about her no more. When did she go to court?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else said it like you said it on our first show. Jeff Epstein. He a billionaire. Why he have a funeral yet? Nobody ain't talk. No, his body still ain't showed up yet.
Nothing.
This was in August.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Epstein, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Epstein.
Or why they ain't do a Lifetime special on him like R.
We're not gonna let you forget. By you saying that, I just seen earlier that Welcome to Neverland, the Michael Jackson documentary. It just won it won some kind of award, an Emmy or something.
What? Because that stuff was fake.
I can't, man. Hey, look, that's too funny to me. But hey, look. Just thinking of, I remember, I only know her because she used to have me sitting while Desperate Housewives.
That's my favorite
and
show.
I got hooked on it like a little lame. But it's cool though because that's my squeeze. You know what I'm saying? That's my baby boo.
Wow, really? Anyways, moving on.
Oh, okay.
All right, moving on. So, Broward County, Florida, a 23-year-old mother has been arrested for manslaughter nearly 4 months after her 2 sons drowned in a pool at a Florida apartment complex. Authorities from the Broward County Sheriff's Office said Wildalene Joseph was arrested at 1 a.m. on Saturday in connection to the deaths of Bernario Minto 5 and 6-year-old Jakai Joseph. The brothers were found dead at the bottom of the pool at Silver Palms apartment complex in North Lauderdale on May 22nd. At the time, Wildalene Joseph told authorities that the boys left their apartment in the middle of the night to go swimming while she was asleep. Police said their mother and other family members pulled the boys from the pool at about 9:30 p.m., but they were unresponsive. Like, what mother don't know what's going on? And ever since I had kids, like, it's hard for me to sleep at night. Like, I used to be a deep, heavy sleeper. You used to have to come play the trumpet to wake me up. But with now, it's hard for me to be a heavy sleeper. I'm such a light sleeper. I can hear light steps when they're trying to creep in the hallway in the middle of the night to go run to the bathroom. I can hear that. How don't you hear your kids walking out the house, going out of the apartment, closing the door, going up and down or whatever, if it's stairs or not, but just like in general, how you in the middle of the night to go swimming while she was asleep? Like, come on. That just sounds fraud all over. She killed them boys. And I'm glad that she's going to prison for it.
That's what you think? She killed the boys?
Heck yes, she did. That's common sense. Like, your kids and you didn't find them until the next day at later on that night at 9:30 p.m. They were unresponsive. Come on.
But listen, this in North Lauderdale. This is in Florida. I grew up in Florida.
Right.
Orlando. Right. I can't even count on my hands how many times that I went to a different neighborhood, jumped in an apartment complex pool, just me by myself. Sometimes I got close when I didn't know how to swim. I got close to drowning, but luckily I was able to get myself out or something like that. This is Florida. Everybody goes swimming. And when we leave out the house, you know what I'm saying? Everybody house that we going to, they might have a pool in their apartment complex. And you know, right this time, you know, these jits, these young little men, 5 and 6. So I know they probably a little advanced. They 5 and 6. So the 5-year-old probably thinking like an 8-year-old. The 6-year-old probably thinking like a 9-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So mom probably trusts them. But that's the number one thing you can't do around water. I never let my son. I already know because I know how he is. He like to try stuff. He like to do stuff. And I knew how I was. He would go jump in the pool. And even on the side of the street, I let him go out and play. I know if he won't stay out the road, the first place he's going to try to go is to the road.
And down the street.
But to find him at the bottom of the pool, but to arrest her 1 month later, what?
I mean, clearly that means they found some type of connections. They found something that got her arrested because you just don't. Again, as a mom, you just got those feelings, you got those instincts, and then irregardless if you trust your children to do certain things or not, you still make sure you're watching them. But to go in the middle of the night, like, come on, common sense.
But she fell asleep.
In the middle of the night, you allowing your kids to go swimming?
But they left out while she was sleeping.
How did she know what time that they left if she was asleep?
Well, it's probably nighttime. But like in other apartment complexes, everybody, especially if it's in the hood, everybody out at night. Everybody leaving out. They might go be up at the little apartment complex park. They might have the basketballs. And 9 times out of 10, the pool's supposed to be closed at a certain time.
Right. That's what I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Well, me neither, because that's why I said it just doesn't make any sense to me. Clearly, they found something, and she lied about something because they found something, because they're just not going to just say, oh, something happened. Something came about.
Well, my heart goes out to those 2 boys that drowned, man. Serious, water is a serious thing, especially if you don't know how to swim. I would advise everybody to teach their kids how to swim. Hell, the old folks do it like how the old folks used to do it. Just go take you and throw you in the water. You got to make your way back or something like this. But I don't know. Nowadays, you got to pay thousands of dollars for the kid to learn how to swim. No, you don't. Don't take them out there. Show them how to swim or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Take the time.
They have places, especially in Florida, that offers free swimming lessons for your children. And that's what I understand. Like, there's so many options that are available, and she could, but again, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Man. All I can say is, watch the kids. I had a family member. I'm not going to mention who that was, but if people watch it and they know who I am, and if he watching, he know who he is, but it happened to us. No one wasn't watching him, and he almost drowned. He did. They had to airlift him to the hospital because it was people around, even the lifeguards, and he ended up at the bottom of the pool and almost dying. So it's a serious thing.
Well, what they're saying is they had video surveillance that showed the boys leaving the apartment area and running towards the pool. The 6-year-old jumped into the deep end part of it, but drowned because he could not swim. And his 5-year-old brother tried to jump in to save him, but went under as well and drowned because he couldn't swim. So the grandmother found them just over 2 hours later at the bottom of the pool. Again, there's a house full of people, and the mom is asleep. Unsupervised, irregardless, you are a parent. Your number one job is to take care of your children. You are supposed to be the watcher over them. If they decide, you got to make sure your doors is locked. And you can't go to sleep before your kids go to sleep. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care when I used to work nights. As soon as I couldn't go to bed unless I knew they were in bed. They were sound asleep. If I could hear them snoring and drooling, I'm good. I know I'm good. Irregardless if you in the house or not, I just could not sleep, not knowing that everybody in the house was not asleep as well. I'm sorry. People could agree with me or not. At that point, I just feel like that the parents are responsible. That is a form of neglect. Now you gotta suffer because both of your children are dead because I understand. If you're tired, you are a parent, you do get tired, you are sleepy, but there's a house full of people. What happened to them? Why wasn't nobody watching them? They clearly, these 2 kids, you can see them leaving the apartment complex and then both of them jumping into the pool.
Man. It'll happen. I'm telling you, it'll happen so fast. That's why we'll never get a pool. If we get a pool, it'll be one of them little ones. Yeah,
because she's trying to say that it was a 64-year-old grandmother that was watching the children while she was asleep, but that her cell phone record showed that her phone was being used to search and text during the time period which she claimed she was sleeping. So if you saying that you sleeping and you doing all of this, but they're pulling up and proving that you wasn't, come on again. This is a form of neglect.
I agree, man. Moms, whatever you got coming to you,
Right, and her boyfriend was there. The grandmother was there. Everybody was there. So again, there was a house full of grown adults, and then her boyfriend, John Lewis Lynn Jr., kept going with the story, saying, well, he was watching TV at the time of the drowning while the boys were playing the tablets at the apartment doorway. No. That all of that just doesn't even sound like any kind of sense at all to me. I don't care. They're children. Why would you let them out of your home at night? Let's go. Let's be real. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, sorry to hear that. Rest in peace, boys.
Oh, gosh, for them babies.
Hey, we got a couple updates for you, people. A couple updates, especially first update is about Brooke Richardson. Y'all remember her, the girl that went and burnt the baby and buried him alive in the backyard. Brooke Richardson was acquitted of
I knew it.
of the serious charge of murder, manslaughter, and endangerment, but was convicted of a corpse abuse. This charge carries a possible 1-year prison term, but she could receive just probation, being a first-time offender.
She did. And I think that is
She
bogus.
got acquitted.
That is bogus because she literally killed her baby, had the baby, killed the baby, buried the baby, and burnt it alive and then buried it. That should have been murder, like Capital One. She murdered and buried that baby. I just don't. Again, it's her first time. Let's go ahead and not say anything about it or blah blah. I think she should burn in hell. Period. What she did was wrong. It doesn't matter.
All right. I agree, man. It's wrong. Moving on. We're going to go to Arizona. Tremaine Jackson, because we got to move on. 43. In Arizona Department of Public Safety of 13 years was recently arrested and charged on 61 criminal counts, which include sexual abuse, attempted sexual assault, unlawful sexual conduct, sexual extortion, kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, harassment, fraud, and tampering with public records. Jackson was accused of sexually assaulting a woman earlier this year, which sparked a deeper investigation into his past interactions with women. According to the USA Today, 8 other women came forward accusing Jackson of sexual assault and harassment.
That's sick. Oh my God.
This is a black guy, by the way.
Just imagine like you're getting pulled over because of, it could be just a number of anything, but from what some of these accounts that he pulled these people over for, it was for fake incidents, and he kind of like targeted these women knowing that they're driving alone and they're there by themselves. So he did things to these people. Not people, but to these women. I think that is super sick. And that's why if I ever got pulled over, or when I did get pulled over, I made sure I was in a lighted area. I always preferably be in a parking lot or somewhere. I feel like it should be more as far as with these charges over than he got 61 criminal counts, but 13 years being with them, and this has been going on for that long? Absolutely not. Just imagine like the lives that he ruined, the women that he ruined, the self-esteem issues, the insecurities, the just the overall trauma of what they had to experience with him, and then the type of anxiety that they'll experience with any other men that comes within their life or that's in their current life, and just have to deal with that because a lot of them are scared to come forward or to say anything because this is a person of the law, and that they'll feel like, okay, well, I'm gonna end up being targeted, nobody's gonna believe me, and as many women would, they just pretty much keep it to themselves and keep it moving when things like this happen to them. He's sick. He is truly sick.
Hey, listen, ladies. Listen. And now I got to play devil's advocate. Now, I'm not condoning anything that he did. Now, listen, I'm just trying to put you up on game because it's always two sides of the story. Now, saying that he's right, you know what I'm saying? But I know how some of the women are from a male's perspective. Let me give you an example. Woo, 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 woo. Pull you over, state trooper. You've been speeding down the highway. He come up. Let me see your license registration, man. Oh, you look gorgeous tonight. Oh, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm not going to give you a ticket tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He lets you go. You know what I'm saying? Promise. Hey, if I give you my number, you're going to call, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Some women might take advantage of that, 1 or 2, 3 times, or they might call trooper Jackson to get him out of some other altercations?
No, he's offering these women leniency and said, okay, well, I'll let you go if you do this, or I'll let you go if you do that. No, absolutely, it doesn't matter if you got pulled over and a woman like turns to, oh, officer, please don't give me a ticket. No.
I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like, okay, the first time. You know what I'm saying? The first time. He not gonna come off like, you know what I'm saying? Like his first time, he not gonna come off like that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna bait him in first. No one does that. Just come straight. Even if you just got pulled the first time and you know he come on. Excuse me? No, I'd rather take the ticket. Gonna swoo you first. That's how they set you up. I'm telling you, that's how they set you up. So it's okay, I give a little bit, she give a lot. I give a little bit, let me make a call, she give a lot. Now that I know the ropes, and now that I can take advantage of it, now I'm going to come off blunt to the women, because now I know what to do. Now I see where to get them at. Now he for to come, like you said, especially 61 counts. He all over the highway. Oh, in Arizona.
Exactly. So he would stop the women in traffic and then give them violations, and then he'll offer them sexual favors in order for them to not, for him not to give them any kind of form of tickets and stuff. No, he's disgusting. He deserves
unlawful imprisonment.
Exactly. And some of these women he kidnapped and kept them. So it's not like these women went against their, wanted to go willingly. They went against their will. He took these women, drug them out of their cars, and made them go with him, and kept them in the house, a hotel, or wherever he took them at, and forced them to do sexual acts on him. And then, of course, as a woman, you're embarrassed at this point. You're sick and tears. You can't believe this happened to you. A lot of women shut down after stuff like this happens, and they don't go and run and tell people until something actually comes out or something happens, because they're like, okay, well, I'm not the only one saying this, because then I'll look like I'm lying. And then he will end up being the victim and not me. That's what really happens. And it always happens that way.
I mean, I can never understand it. Like, what's going through a woman's head when they've been taken advantage of and they don't want to go tell nobody? Or you just don't want to, you think nobody's not going to believe you or something? Or because...
What do you mean what's going on? Because at that point, you're scared, you're afraid, you're ashamed, you're disgusted, you just want to go. You could run and tell somebody, but at that point, you're like, okay, he's law enforcement. If I go run and tell, like all law enforcement, they usually have each other's back. So the first thing they're going to do, they're going to treat her like crap, take her into questioning. They're going to 21 question you, and then they're going to make you feel like you are wrong for coming here. They always do. They try to find out what's the story. They're going to treat you like crap to see if you're going to switch up. And after you've been raped or sexually assaulted, who wants to sit there, be 21 question, and try to see if they're telling the truth or not? You're going to shut down. You're like, forget this, I'm gone. You're going to get up and you're going to leave, because at this point, you're not believing me. You're not understanding what happened, and what I feel like all you're doing is trying to be combative towards me just to see if I'm going to switch up and change my story. That's why a lot of women don't go through it, and they just shut down and leave it alone until multiple women step up and say, you know what, that happened to me. This is what happened. And maybe it just took that one brave woman to come out to say something, and then others follow behind.
Ladies, now, don't get upset at me. You know, I'm only going to give you the real. I would advise y'all to smarten up. Now,
how do you know if something's going to... record course.
No, listen to me. I know this striking the chord. Listen to me. If he committed it one time, right? Tremaine, Jack, I got him. Say, man, this a dog. He did me right. He sexually assaulted me. Just like you said, they know if I go to the police department, they gonna shun me. Smarten up. Next time, you know you're gonna do it again.
This is different women, so it's not the same woman.
I understand, but you think if he did it to you, and if you didn't, and if you called him and tried to set up another meet, you think he wouldn't come? But this is to set him up,
right? But a lot of women is not going to do that.
That's my point of me saying you have to smarten up. If he done it to you one time, and if you're afraid to go, set him up. Put your big girl pants on.
Set him up, but did you go to the police?
No, you don't go to the police.
So why would you set him up and then set him up so that he could re-rape you?
No,
because you're not making sense. So why would you call him? Okay, so what you think is going to happen if you call him? And then you think that he's just going to come over and just have a conversation with you? Heck no. He's going to come over and he's going to try to redo what you did. So you got yourself on video.
No, you get him to admit.
No, he's not going to admit it. You got him on video because you brought him. So that you've now provoked him. Now it's showing you calling him and you opening your door and willing him to come in. So no, that's not going to work in her favor. Why would she do that? That's like somebody comes over and rapes you or molests you, and then you call that same guy to come over after he did it, and then put it on tape. They're like, if you were afraid of him, why you didn't
think of the first time? Let's go to the first time. We just said it the first time. If he pulls you over on the highway, I'll pull you over. He couldn't rape you on the highway. He couldn't take advantage of you on the highway. Sometime between the court date and something like that, you had to set up something for him to come over where you at. You had to go over where he at. It had to be something cordial at first because you're not going to know he's going to rape you. So that's what I mean. You have to be smart. You can't be, because there's no way, okay, I pulled you over.
And they just said that. Yes, that's what he pulled them over and he offered them these favors. And then he took, and some of these women he kidnapped. So why, he did extortion.
If a state trooper,
he tells you, if you don't come with me, I'm locking you up. If you don't do this, I'm gonna do that, or you don't know what type of stuff that he had or what he was doing towards them.
But just because he's in the uniform, now if I pulled you over and said that, you'll say, kick rock, get out my phone. Are you crazy? But he just got on a uniform. This is what I'm saying. You have to dumb everything down. He just has on a uniform. That's what I'm saying. From the time that he pulls you over, well, if you do this, I won't give you a ticket. It's just a ticket. So you're trying to say you're going to put yourself in a predicament with a man you don't know for a ticket. It's a ticket.
So when he sexually assaults them while it's going on, then he does unlawful sexual conduct, forces himself onto you, kidnaps you, unlawful imprisonment.
On the highway?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
it's a lot of stuff that happens on the highway. You don't know what time of day this stuff was. That's what I mean.
You have to smarting up.
But some
don't
people
you watch
are not
movies?
Think, yeah, some do. But again, some people are not thinking that they could be on their way to something or doing something like, okay, this is it's just a random act. They're not going to know. Like, when you're put into a predicament that you don't have, that you unaware that's going to happen. Like, if you just got pulled over just like that and it's in the middle of the night, like, you're going to continue
go
to
take you some training classes. Go take you some fight classes. Go, like we talked about it last time, get you some mace. Protect yourself. Don't let yourself get taken advantage of. If it's that easy, don't do that. Protect yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Just don't be, I'm a woman.
I'm just going to say, if you are being pulled over, you're the only person in the car, I will call the police while the police is behind me. And I'm going to let them know I'm not stopping until I'm into an open lit area. And I'm just wanting to let you know to notify the officer that's behind me that's trying to pull me over. I am on route such and such, or I'm on location such and such. And I just want to be safe. I do have my camera rolling. So if anything does take place, this call is being recorded so that you are aware that this is what I am doing and I'm not trying to elude or evade the police. And then just go to a safe area as you're getting pulled over. I have been pulled over plenty of times, and when I do, I will ride until I'm into an actual parking lot, because I'm not going on the side of the road unless I have my husband in the car with me. And if my children are only in there with me, we're going to continue to drive, and I do call 911 to let them know that I'm not pulling over until I'm in a safe place.
I'll agree. I just had to speak from a man's perspective.
Well, that was stupid.
I'm sorry. Put me in the coma.
Yeah, okay, well. Anyways, all right. Newport, North Carolina. A Cartier County woman is behind bars for allegedly castrating her husband. Deputies responded to a home in Newport on Murdoch Road just before 4 a.m. Tuesday. James Farbut told deputies his wife, Victoria Farbut, tied him up and pulled out a knife. The motive for the castration is not known. Deputies were able to put the body part on ice and get it to the medical personnel. James Farbut was taken to the Vidant Medical Center in Greenville. His condition is unknown. Victoria Farbut, 56, was arrested and charged with malicious castration and kidnapping. She's being held in the Cartier County Jail under $100,000 bond. He did something.
What he do, y'all?
He did something. I'm telling you, because ain't no woman just gonna. Well, I mean, I don't know, but
Hey,
he
all
did
y'all
something.
younger viewers out there, if you watching, go look up Lorena Bobbitt.
Oh yeah, she was cuckoo.
She cut her man Johnson out. What she do?
But he was cheating on her, and she drove from Texas in a diaper, used the bathroom on herself, and changed herself.
That was the astronaut lady.
That wasn't.
That's the astronaut lady. She drove from that point. You thinking more recently of the astronaut lady that drove in the Pamper, not Lorena Bobbitt.
Yes,
Lorena Bobbitt cut the man
Oh no.
You thinking of the astronaut lady that drove
Oh, yeah,
from all the way
yeah.
to Florida in a diaper.
Wrong way, but yeah.
Oh God. Lorena
Yeah.
Bobbitt cut her boyfriend John off in the dizzy.
Yeah.
Oh man. What you gonna do, fella, when you wake up in the morning? You know what I'm saying? When you try to urinate or utilize the bathroom, yeah, ain't that coming out, everything just squirt all over the place. Like
That's
this.
just nasty.
What? How you come in the hospital holding your... Ooh. Yeah, and let me tell you something. You'd have had to do something real jacked up for your woman to get to that point to cut your Johnson off. Lord, have mercy. Boy. And 100,000, ain't that's attempted murder? You know what I'm saying? Everybody laughing at you when you going in there and get locked up.
No, that was.
But she tied them up. She must have acted like they was about to have sex.
Yeah, her recording from the police recording was about 12 to 13 minutes long. And she was saying that some of the stuff that she was saying, she just sounded like she's not right. She said, well, actually, I was told I was the sword and the light, but that's not working out so good. When the woman from 911 asked, was the victim in physical pain? And she says, well, that would be part of the message from sinning against God and fornication. And when they asked if he was conscious, if he's breathing, she says, he's just dandy. So then the dispatcher asked her, was there any other weapons being involved? She said anything that could harm somebody, like an axe, club, knife, or whatever. And then she goes, a clipper, which she described as a good pruning rose. This lady is cuckoo. She said, well, he is bleeding, but not enough to make the sign of the cross or right center or anything like that.
Well, she made sure he ain't gonna have sex with nobody else. Boy, and then 9 out of 10, he came back home the next couple of nights, got to lay right beside her. Lord.
She was asking her where was parts of his body or something, and she said there's a thing in there that needs your assistance. I don't know its whereabouts or where it is or where it could be anywhere right now. Talking about his penis pretty much just dangling around the house. That lady is something else.
Hey man, that's what I'm saying.
Tell
Some
you,
women
young
that
men.
go all the way. You understand? Because
I don't think I would ever go that far. Like, especially not with. I mean, not
especially
like
a
that,
woman
no.
that like sort of like grew up late and ain't really been hurt like that, and she fall in love with you.
Mm-mm.
Oh man, boy, let me tell you, because I done been through my obstacle courses. With this one to the left over here, I done dodged a couple axes.
Really?
Bullet shots. Look, I'm Neo in the Matrix like this.
He lying. Don't believe that.
Oh no! Cop be coming out the club one night with a couple shorties shot at me, and then I woke up and like, man, that was a crazy dream I
Yeah, he
had.
lying. Don't believe that mess. I ain't gonna go that far. It's not that serious. Not at all. Love is a dangerous
Now
thing.
just imagine. Now see, y'all can't do that now. Imagine a brother get mad and I want to slice off your left breast.
What?
You see? You see how crazy that is? Let me just get mad in the middle of the night and find out you done cheated on me or you done did something. Now I want to cut something off your body. I'm going to jail for attempted murder. You know what I'm saying? It ain't right.
That's crazy.
How y'all be doing us brothers.
Whatever.
You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, You know what I'm saying?
There's no condition, and there's no reason as to why, as of yet, why she did it. But I'm sure as soon as we find out the updates, we definitely gonna say something about it. Cause I am so curious to know. But I know that she told them that he's gonna be carrying the message. So I want to know what this message is because she is
Probably the Polly Ann, not the mess with her man no
So
more.
he probably did. He probably was cheating. I mean, she tied him
That
up
got to
and
be the
everything.
only.
He did something.
I mean, you just ain't
And
gonna wake up in the night.
He's 61. So yeah, it's something. He did something, and she 56. So yeah.
The old lady
He did
was just
something.
tired. I'm just tired of it, Earl. You
done-
come home
she
late.
She been long enough, so
You don't
it's
talk
something.
to me anymore. I got food waiting on the stove.
Really?
Listen, woman, get in there and get in that bed. And then next thing you know, he thought every night was gonna go the same.
Okay. I don't think so.
All right. That's a crazy story, right? All right, people, it's about that time again. You know what it is, man. We getting close to the end of the show, man. You know, and we like to take these questions and answer them. The 3 questions, marriage tips. They don't necessarily have to apply to married people. It could be a fiance, you're in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, or you've been dating this girl or guy for a while, or you've been dating this girl and girl for a while, you've been dating this guy and the guy for a while. It's all the same, people. It's all the same. No matter what it is, all the same. It's all the same. This can help you, you know what I'm saying, just like it help us, you know what I'm saying. But let's get into it. The first question of the night, question number 1 is, do you think married partners should be equal in the decision-making power?
Yes.
You answer that pretty quick, but let's be objective here. Let's go back a while back. You know, let's speak objectively.
I'm gonna say yes and no. I say, as far as like in any relationship, it should always be equal, like 50-50. As far as like a marriage, it should definitely be that, because what your decision is, the decision that you decide to make, or like you, as far as like a decision that you decide to make, it's not only going to affect you, but it also affects your household, your partner. It could affect your children if you have them. I mean, it can affect a number of things because it goes down like a trickle down effect. So let's say you decide to take this job and you have to up and move all the way to Canada, and you have to leave next week, and you decide to take the executive decision to do it without even coming to tell me, saying, hey babe, this is what my job is offering me to relocate me to here. I have to leave next week. I did agree with it, and I was just like, so then that means you would expect me to just drop everything that I have going and continue on and follow. And that, as to me, I just feel like it should be 50-50, and that all decisions should come at once on the table, and it should be talked about before actually deciding on that decision.
Now, this typically how it goes for most relationships. If the guy makes the most money, he get to make all the decisions. If the woman make the most money, she get to make all the decisions. Because you know how it is. You coming home, the woman that worked all day or all week, then she got to pay the bill. Then you know she mad. She look at you. Why don't you get up and do something? I mean, what? I was like, oh Lord, here we go. Because sometimes you be down, and one person might be making more than the other. So that person automatically feels like they've been working all day, they've been tired, that they're entitled to boss you or make decisions not regarding you. Especially women. Let me tell you something about women. We ain't gonna get into that, but I was raised by women, and they can keep secrets. They tell you what they want to tell you, but that's understandable.
Well, yeah,
that's
any
cool.
woman.
And like if you make more money than me, that's fine. But as the man of the household, I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to put my foot down, and if you don't accept it, I'll step until you get with the program or don't get with the program. Now, if you got a dummy, and like, babe, your decision-making skills ain't really up to par. Like when it comes to the bill, the light bill, he or she taking the money and don't know what to do with it, and they're going to jack it up. regardless, even if you listen, I need you to pay this bill by 5 o'clock, or the light's gonna be cut off, and you come home and the damn light's cut off. You see, all the decision making of paying the bills, you need to have it to the more responsible person. You know what I'm saying? Like with the kids going to school, you know what I'm saying? You can split that or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? Like not these little petty decisions like where the kids gonna get the haircut at, or where you gonna, you know what I'm saying? Eat at that night or something. And then we talk about major decisions that cause an effect, like just like she said, like moving to a place, you know what I'm saying, where you got to uplift and take the whole family with you, because it ain't just you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it gradually worked itself out. I used to try to preach and teach this to my wife, you know, for a long time. Hey, listen, look, it's just not you anymore, and it's just not me anymore. So you can't move like it's just you, because everything you do gonna affect us, and everything I do gonna affect us. But more than likely, you know what I'm saying, I could just run off in the middle of the night. They ain't gonna care about me, you know what I'm saying? But we need you to stay grounded and strong and holding the household down, because we gonna go jack up and make some stupid mistakes. We gonna mess up. That's a given. So, ladies, check it off on your calendar. Each quarter, each 3 months, expect at least 2 jack-ups.
5.
Average. I didn't work it down for 5. You know what I'm saying? Average. Work that down. Brothers gonna mess up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Give us a break, man. Hey, look, but it'll balance out, man. You just can't let the person that with no sense make all the decisions, because
absolutely
it's not gonna
not.
make no sense.
Mm-mm.
Like, she's strong in areas and I'm strong in areas. So her strong points, I let her handle it. My strong points, she let herself handle it. You don't let me handle it.
That's what I'm about to say. Lies.
All right.
All right. Do you believe unmarried cohabitation is acceptable?
I'll go first on this one. It's acceptable to a certain point. To a certain point where it click in your mind that you know, okay, I've been with this woman or guy for a while. Now it's time for him or her to step up to the plate. More than likely, it's going to be the guys. Guys, you've been with a woman for a while, you know what I'm saying? You stand, you know what I'm saying? Man, what's the word for it? You living in, what is it when you're not married? Not living in sin, but fornicating.
Fornication, shacking up.
You shacking up. You fornicate, you shacking up. I came to her like, hey, man, look. We've been staying together a while. We got to get married. Oh, why you want to marry? Why you want to marry? Because we've been together.
I'm marry you before you marry me.
It don't matter. We've been together. It's time to get, because like when we met each other, I couldn't stay in my separate place and she stay in her separate place and we could be together. That ain't gonna work.
No.
We got to stay together and make this thing work. But I ain't gonna babble on. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get in here.
Yeah, weirdly. Yeah, we started living with each other like a week after being with me.
Boy, you know I'm gonna handle my business when it comes to that thing. I got to see what mine is. Hey, look, hey.
15, 16 years, married 11. So I believe that, as he said, it's acceptable up to an extent. So let's say we've been together for 5 years and I still don't have a ring on my finger. You're not even attempting to marry me. You're not even talking about marriage. You bump me off when we have a conversation about it. So that means it's one or two things. Either that you don't see us as far as the future, or the second thing is that you don't want to be with me as far as like long term, and you don't want to be married. So what's the point of us living together, doing things together, having everything together, and you don't want to just go ahead and say, well, you know, at this point in time, you have to start leading by an example. If you have children within your household, how would you feel if your daughter or your son sees you laying up with you are technically girlfriend and boyfriend. Y'all are laying up every day, every single night, but you're not making an honest relationship out of it under God's eye. And you're not taking and deciding to say, okay, well, you know, me and you've been together for this amount of years. I do see myself with you in the future. I do see us being together forever. let's get married. If that's not on your plans,
I
why
wanna
waste
be
that
with
person's
you.
time? Because that Mr. Right or Mrs. Right could be waiting for that same person that you over there shacking and laying up with, because you deciding that you don't want to move forward with the next step of life, and being a couple under God's eye. Because all you doing is fornicating. That's pretty much all you doing.
And trust me, stuff gonna
It's
go
gonna
wrong
happen because
all the time when you're
anything's
not
gonna
living
happen,
right. All
and
the
at
time.
the end of the day, you're not the wife, you're not the husband, so you can't make executive decisions if something bad was to happen to this person. At the end of the day, you don't have those legal rights to do anything, so anything can happen, and your say will pretty much not honestly matter,
It
because
won't matter at all.
who are you? The boyfriend? The girlfriend? That's all you are. And at that point in time, you have to realize, okay, if you in a relationship with somebody and y'all are long term, if you don't feel that at the end of the day, like, you don't see yourself married to this person, giving this person your last name, then why waste each other's time? Let that person move on and be able to find somebody that wants to be with that person forever.
Man, sometimes we just be in love. I
Being
ain't
in
never gonna
love?
let her go.
Well, if that's the case, then you can't put a ring on my finger. Love is not going to change the fact that we're sitting in this house, and
Love don't live here anymore.
and we're not doing that common law marriage stuff, because we're not Billy and you ain't Lily. Not doing it.
Hey, being married have its perks and its benefits and stuff like that. And its downfall. Now, if she get mad at you and you got your check coming in the mail, and if she take it and go, you can't do nothing about it.
Sure can't.
You can't do nothing about it.
Absolutely not.
She can go withdraw money anytime, anything she want to do. She can call to make changes.
Sure
you know what I'm
can.
saying? Anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep that in mind, which is not a bad thing, because you want somebody there to vouch for you. If something
Yep.
go on and you're still trying to transition from out of the nightlife and the streets and the being at home and stuff like that, something happen, you got the one person right here that's going to vouch for you. All them other fools you're hanging with, they're going to tell on you. But, you know what I'm saying? It's acceptable to a certain extent and point. But you
Just
can't
at the
live in
end of the
sin
day,
forever.
you can't live in sin, and don't waste each other's time. If y'all don't see each other being long term or forever, then allow that person to go off and be with someone that does want to be with
But
them
I
forever.
love her.
Love don't cost a thing.
All right, final question of the night. Question number 3. Can children be raised successfully in a household with a single parent?
Absolutely. Sure can.
Oh, okay.
They sure can.
I mean, it depends.
No, it does not depend. They can be raised successfully in a single parent household, as long as that parent, it could be a single mother, it could be a single father. I've seen it go both ways. When there's a dad that took care of his children, when the mom decided to run off and go do her own thing, and those kids grew up to be great. And
See,
the
that
same as
question
far as with moms.
Kind of tainted when a question like that asked, it make you seem like from the jump, like you just put a parent on the board. Okay, place the parent, then place the child. Okay, now y'all go. But 9 times out of 10, for them to be a single parent, something that happened to the other parent, either alcohol issue, imprisonment, or the parent was jacking up. So,
Or it could just be the parent don't want to be a part of their child's life.
well, that's
it
another
can be.
reason. That's for. It's a whole
Right.
lot of reasons. So, I mean, they could be successfully raised in a single parent household.
They can
It's
be.
all the time. Those parents, hell, look at all the women that go adopt these black kids and stuff like that, and they raise them up. They go get the kids. But that's another story. But I mean, you would prefer not to go that route. You would want a healthy relationship. You want a healthy
Right,
balance.
you would. I mean, in regards, let's say y'all were boyfriend and girlfriend, y'all decided to have a kid, and then y'all break up, and then the child is living with the mom or living with the dad, and y'all are doing this co-parenting thing. Y'all are still in a single parent household, because you're not there every night, she's not there every night, and vice versa. So again, they can be, because your child could be raised by both ends. You being single dad, you being single mom. The child could be raised and still get the luxuries of both sides. Or it could be vice versa, that the dad doesn't want to be a part of the child's life, or the mom doesn't want to be a part of that child's life. But that parent, as a single parent, takes on the role of both mom and dad, and does the best that they can to make sure that their child is provided for and get the needs that their child needs, to make sure that their child is successful and make sure that their child grows to be somebody. So absolutely, it doesn't matter. I've seen kids that grow with both parents in the household and turn out to be crackheads. I seen that.
Man, wait a minute, not all, a certain percentage.
I didn't say all. I said I have seen.
Oh, yeah,
there's
yeah,
children
yeah.
who grew up with mom and dad who ends up turning out to be on drugs, end up turning out to be in rehab, end up turning out to be a nobody working at the gas station down the street, and they decide they don't want to do nothing with their life. I mean, again, I have seen that. And then I've seen single moms, single dads who raise their children. They became out to be lawyers. They became out to be doctors. They came out to be judges. You hear it all the time on these shows, like Judge Mathis talks about it, and all of these different shows. I'm just saying in general, it doesn't matter as long as that child is taken care of. I think that absolutely they could be raised successfully.
Single. I agree.
Yep.
I agree. Now that you put it like that, you know me, I'm thinking, hey, look.
No, you're
I'm
thinking
just
wrong.
dolo. I got my own place.
No.
Drop that boy out here when you ready. Cause just let me know when you come.
No.
I'm playing, y'all. But we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Those were some good questions, by the way.
Really was. Shocked and surprised.
Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, those questions help you, has been a help to you and things like that. And we like to thank y'all for hanging out with us. You know what I'm saying? We got to get these kids together and stuff like that. And we'll see y'all next time. Don't forget to follow us at HizandHerz Barnett on Facebook, HizandHerz Podcast on Instagram, HizandHerz Podcast on YouTube, and
Spotify.
Streaming now on Spotify. So on Spotify.
Yay.
And good night, people.
Subscribe,
love you.
subscribe. And subscribe.
And we're gonna get up out of here. Until the next time.
Good night.
Peace. Love you.